All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and review another trade that one of my students had sent me that we're analyzing what happened. He marked his zone on the daily from low to high of this W pattern and then went to the 4-hour time frame where he noticed there was an M formation. Mind you, all of this hadn't happened. So when he looked at the market, it was right here. And so he were waiting on the market to return to this area for a sell. That's what he was looking at. Now, I don't know if he had a limit order pending because of that setup. I don't do limit orders when they're especially this far away. So here he mentioned that he believes news was the reason why the market went up before it went down. So we're going to go ahead and verify that. And I have my forexfactory.com economic calendar up. We went back to the August 10th where he had took the trade, and as you can see there was high impact news. Red folders mean high impact at 14:30, which lines up around the time that he might have entered this trade or been pretty much kicked out of this trade. So some of the things that I would have done differently was, one, check the Forex calendar first before taking any trades. I don't trade news before the simple fact that it can go either way, regardless of what your markups are, you know. So that's the first thing, and that's my rules. If you want to trade news, and if you were looking at this zone for a sell, some of the things you could have did was waited to confirm that the market was actually trying to sell. So one of the things you can do is, let's go ahead and put this back in replay. Instead of just putting a limit order here, what you would do is you would wait till the market get to your zone. And so as this market moves forward, you want to analyze what's going on in the zone. On the 4-hour time frame, if you're taking your entries on the one, let's go ahead and switch down. Analysis on the 4, entries on the one. Right now, I don't have a limit order. I am assessing what's going on with my zone before I just hop in the market. And right now, this tells me that buyers is bullish. Buyers are in the market. So if I'm looking to sell, first of all, I wouldn't even be in this sale. I would not get into the sale until the market returns to that zone and closes below that zone, according to my strategy. And so as you can see, this market is finally coming back down to the zone, which is telling me that there is on a pullback. It does not say that sellers are in the market and that we have they're in control per se, not until it closes below my zone. Okay. And so for this particular situation, I would not be in this trade because look, guess what happened? It returned to the zone right here, but it didn't close below the zone. So one of the things that will tell you whether or not who's in control is that break-in structure of your zone. And remember, when you get the breakout to the upside, buyers are in control. When you get the breakout to the downside, sellers are in control. Buyers are still in control. This was just a short pullback right here. So if you were looking to counter trend this trade, that's my swing high. That's my signal candle right here. Once it broke below here on the 1 hour, you could have took the retest only to the zone and took profit if you were doing a counter trend trade. Now, why is this a counter trend trade? Well, if you look on the daily, let's go back. So not only was he selling against the trend, I mean, it's overall bearish, but where the market is currently is in a pullback. So technically you are selling against the current trend, which is a bullish momentum at this point. And one of the things you want to also identify is my last structure area on the daily. Where could this market go to possibly before it turns around? And as you can see, this was previous support and now it is resistant. The market went exactly to that support level, well, that resistance level now, which was used to be support, and then you had a reaction off that area. How do I know this market was moving in an upward direction? I look for my swing low, or my swing high, depending on where the market's at now. Drop a vertical line in the middle of that, and everything that's going on the right hand side, whether it's up or down, will tell me that the market is in an uptrend, whether it's on a pullback or the overall trend, or whether or not it's a true change in direction. So right now, we can just say that this was on the pullback of the overall trend because it had not broke the previous swing high. And when you drop to the 4-hour time frame, you will see that the same thing is going on. If you drop your vertical line of the swing low, which is this candle right here, everything to the right had been trending up. And then you will see that this zone was my the closest resistance area where the market could possibly react. And so you were taking a sell. Well, he was taking a sell right here in the danger zone, but clearly this market is not ready for a sell. And so now you have the pullback, and then you have more momentum from the buyers. When you get the rally of 3 candles or more, or one big long bullish candle or bearish candle, that should tell you head on that, hey, this is in control, or that's in control. Buyers are still in control. And to the point where, let's see if this market actually closes below the zone. Second reaction, double top right here, and now the market finally breaks and closes below the zone. So at this point, this would be a good area to now look for sales. And what you want to do is wait till the market pulls back into the zone, to your starting point or structure, however you want to call it. Wait till it pulls back into the zone, and then gives you a indication that sellers are in the market. So just because it pulls back doesn't mean that I'm completely convinced that it's going to sell, because when you're pulling back, remember who's in control. Pullback means buyers are in control. Buyers are pushing the market back up. When sellers are in control, that means you're looking for some type of pattern or momentum, like a large candle that breaks and close above that swing high. So in this case, if this is the swing high right here, and this is my signal candle, I'm going to be waiting for the sellers to break and close below that zone, retest, take the sell down to the next area of interest, which would be this gap, which needs to be filled from the breakout, and then that would be where I would take profit in this particular trade. So this was a really self-explanatory trade on what happened. You took a counter trend trade against news, and then against it's just knowing where you are. You're just assuming that things are going to happen, when really you can't assume, because you mark a zone up that that's what's going to happen. You always have to confirm before you enter the market. So remember, you assess first, assess what's going on. Figure out if I'm an uptrend, downtrend, counter trend trade, and pull back. Assess. You need to assess. And the second thing is, okay, I have my zones, my area of interest. Okay, just because the market, you have your area of interest, doesn't mean that the market is going to respect that. So first you want to wait and see what happens when the market gets to your area of interest. Am I going to get some rejection, which means that I'm going to see a bunch of different candles having a hard time breaking the area right here and right here? Or am I going to get some disrespectful bullish momentum that's going to break structure, which happened right here? And you can say this was a fake out, or whatever the case you want to call it. At the end of the day, the buyers was in control of this zone, and right now you need to either wait until the market closes below the zone, or what you need to do is get with the trend at that time, which was the buy, and took it up to that previous high, which was here. However you wanted to trade, I would have just waited. Knowing that the overall trend was a sell, I would have waited till it closed below here and took the sell down. If I wanted some quick pips to do a trade with the current trend on that pullback, I would have waited until the breakout retest right here, got into the trade once it pulled back on the lower time frame, and then took it up to the zone for take profit. So that's how you could have gotten better with this trade. And right now it looks like we're setting up for a sale opportunity here. So that's what I would be looking at for the EURUSD. I do rely on what's going on the DXY, the dollar index, before I make these decisions. And so that's something you also want to look into as well. All right, I hope this helps, and thank you for joining me.